Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen.
I'm Calvin.
And today we are watching Season 2, Episode 14 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. What happened last episode? Do you recall? Because I do. We have...
You edited it.
Yes, I did. We have...
But also... drill.
We have Zuko and Iroh now in the walls of Ba Sing Se with Jet hot on their heels, knowing that they are...
At least Iroh.
Yeah, knowing at least that Iroh is a member of the Fire Nation. And we had Aang, Sokka, Katara, and Toph. Yes, Toph. Stop the drill from going all the way through the wall. So Azula has been foiled.
Well, it has gone through.
Well, okay, yeah. But they stopped it, and now it's like a plug in the wall. So it's kind of like the wall is still there. It didn't really get them any further towards getting inside the walls. At least not that I know of. And so Azula has been foiled along with, May and Ty Lee. What else? We still don't know where Appa is. This is starting to get ridiculous. I want Appa back. I need Appa cuteness in my life.
Well, the reason they went to Ba Sing Se
unacceptable.
was to find Appa, but keep getting sidetracked.
I know. But, hopefully in this episode we will find Appa because they have at least temporarily stayed Azula from coming into the walls of Ba Sing Se. So we just need Appa. We need Appa. We need him to be okay. They need him for a lot of stuff. Not just because he's adorable and cute and, Aang loves him and he's his family. But he's also very, very helpful in everything. Like... He's been instrumental in keeping them alive multiple times. So.
Yep.
And he's scary. Like, when he wants to be, he, opens his mouth with those human teeth, and he's like...
Those weird, square human molar teeth things.
And he tail whips people, and honestly, he's a huge air bison. So, you do not want to be tail whipped by him. Anyway, I feel like this is getting a little bit rambly. Always.
You would know.
I do ramble. But I'm going to stop rambling right now, and we're going to get right into the episode. That's not how you eat corn on the cob.
That's how he eats corn on the cob.
He's a giant bison. Where could someone possibly hide him?
I mean, okay, there's probably a lot of stuff in this city. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, he can be hidden anywhere. The likelihood that they're gonna run into Zuko and Iroh is slightly less now that I see how big it is, but...
Back in the city. Great.
Hello,
she was a
my
mannequin
name
at
is
first.
Judy. I have been given the great honor of showing the Avatar around Ba Sing Se.
We have information about the Fire Nation army that we need to deliver to the Earth King immediately.
Great! Let's begin our tour, and then I'll show you to your new home here. I think you'll like it.
We need to talk to the king about the war.
That smile, though.
Everyone is safe here.
The brainwashing, though.
In case someone brings home a lady friend.
Oh my god. It's so embarrassing.
Jet, you saw a man with a hot cup of tea. It doesn't prove he's a firebender. And what if he is? Are we supposed to attack them? I thought we were starting over here, changing our ways.
Yeah, we met a professor from Ba Sing Se University. He took us to an ancient underground library where we discovered information about the war that is absolutely crucial for the king to hear.
Isn't history fascinating? Look, here's one of the oldest buildings in the Middle Ring, Town Hall.
What is wrong with this lady?
You certainly look like official tea servers. How do you feel?
Ridiculous.
Tea service.
Does this possibly come in a larger size? This tea is nothing more than hot leaf juice.
Uncle, that's what all tea is.
How could a member of
He's not
my
wrong.
own family say something so horrible?
Can we see the king now?
Oh no, one doesn't just pop in on the Earth King.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it popping in. They've been there forever.
Your request for an audience with the Earth King is being processed and should be put through in about a month.
I mean, if the Avatar's come into my city saying he has vital information, I would see him right away.
Oh, I won't get in the way. And to leave you alone would make me a bad
She literally
host.
just got in the
When
way.
shall we start?
I'm sorry, but I haven't heard anything about a flying bison.
It's a cow.
That's kind of amazing. Those are two of my favorite animals.
You should ask Professor Zay. He teaches the class on desert cultures. Right. And which of your professors could we ask about the war with the Fire Nation? I don't know. I'm not a political science student. I have to get to class.
Aw, poor guy.
Why don't you go get some rest? Someone will be over with dinner later.
I would be like, yep, going to sleep, and then just leave.
Hey, come with me.
You're the Avatar. I heard you were in town. I'm Pong.
Nice to meet you, Pong.
So, Pong, what's going on with the city? Why is everyone here so scared to talk about the war?
War? Scared? What do you mean?
I can feel you shaking.
Look, I'm just a minor government official. I've waited 3 years to get this house. I don't want to get into trouble. Shh, shh, shh. Listen, you can't mention the war here. And whatever you do, stay away from the Dai Li.
Remember what the Daily were?
They were the soldiers guarding the palace.
Have you seen our spark rocks to heat up the water?
They're not there. You'll have to firebend, old man.
Just so annoying.
I borrowed our neighbors. Such kind people.
Foiled again.
One doesn't just pop in on the Earth King.
One does not simply walk.
You've got no manners. Excuse me? I've got no manners? You're not exactly Lady Fancy Fingers. I learned proper society behavior and chose to leave it. You never learned anything. And frankly, it's a little too late.
Couldn't. Oh my god.
You could teach us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mastering every element. How hard can manners be?
Yep. Saw that coming. Was that her bugger that she flung earlier?
Don't talk to the commoners, Katara. First rule of society.
We'll get in the party and then find a way to let you in through the side gate.
They look like little adults. It's weird. Leave them alone.
We've been talking, and we think you're becoming obsessed with this. It's not healthy.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We came here to make a fresh start, but you won't let this go.
They
Even though
wanna
there's
make a
no
fresh
real
start.
proof.
Well, maybe if you'd help me.
Jet, you've got to stop this.
Maybe you've forgotten about how the Fire Nation left us all homeless? How they wiped out all the people we loved?
If you're holding on to all that, though, that doesn't sound like starting over at all.
This is the best tea in the city.
The secret ingredient is love.
I'm tired of waiting. These two men
I'm
are
tired of you.
firebenders.
I would just be like, no, I'm not. Like, how's he gonna
I
prove it?
saw the old man heating his tea.
He works in a tea shop.
He's a firebender, I'm telling you.
Drop your swords, boy. Nice and easy.
You'll have to defend yourself. Then everyone will know.
Like, they can defend themselves without firebending,
I'll give you a show.
you know? But why are we cutting away from that in the middle of it?
No entry without an invitation. Step out of line, please.
Look, the Pangs and the Yumsoon Hans are waiting in there for us.
Step out of line, please.
Her Beifong thing didn't work this time.
Do you think you could help us? Our family's inside and I'm sure they're very worried.
I am honored. Please come with me.
His voice sounds familiar too.
I'm Long Feng. I'm a cultural minister to the king.
I'm Hua Mei, and this is Dum.
This is who?
Dumb.
As your escort, it would be dishonorable to abandon you ladies without finding your family first. We'll keep looking.
We dress Momo like a ghost, okay? He flies by the guards, creating a distraction. Then, we blast a hole in the wall.
Or we can go in with these guys. Toph said we might pass as busboys.
Okay, but remember that Momo ghost plan. I think it's a winner.
What are you gonna blow a hole in the wall with?
Right?
How is no one gonna hear you?
Bet you wish he'd help you out with a little fire blast right now.
Dude, if he's getting tired, so are you.
You see that? The Fire Nation is trying to silence me. It'll never happen.
Dude, you're not important enough for them to give a shit.
Another crab puff, please. You found us. I'd know your little footsteps anywhere, Twinkle Toes.
Thanks for letting us in.
Sorry, but the guy who escorted us in won't let us out of his sight.
What guy?
What are you doing here? You have to leave immediately or we'll all be in terrible trouble. You don't understand. You must go.
Sorry, no, don't shout.
The Avatar. Oh, I didn't know the Avatar would be here.
Mama.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Even the bear is impressed.
Drop your weapons.
They're the...
Arrest them! They're firebenders!
Whatever this
This
is.
poor boy's confused.
This young man wrecked my tea shop and assaulted my employees.
It's true, sir. We saw the whole thing. This crazy kid attacked the finest tea maker in the city.
Oh, that's very sweet.
You don't understand! They're Fire Nation! You have to believe me!
What if that guy that let them in was like the king? And I'm like, okay, maybe not. I think that would have been cool though, right?
Let me go!
Why is he getting arrested? Wait, why are
Avatar,
they...
it is a great honor to meet you. I am Long Feng, Grand Secretariat of Ba Sing Se and head of the Dai Li. I'd like to talk to you. Your friends will be waiting for us in the library. His Majesty is an icon, a god to his people. He can't sully his hands with the hourly changes of an endless war.
But we found out about a solar eclipse that will leave the Fire Nation defenseless. You could lead an invasion.
Enough! I don't want to hear your ridiculous plan. It is the strict policy of Ba Sing Se that the war not be mentioned within the walls.
But that's stupid.
Calm down. You're safe now. There's no war in Ba
Hypnotizing
Sing Se.
What are you talking about? Where do you think all the refugees come from? You can't hide it.
In silencing talk of conflict, Ba Sing Se remains a peaceful, orderly utopia.
They brainwash their citizens?
You can't keep the truth from all these people. They have to know.
I'll tell them. I'll make sure everyone knows.
They'll just arrest you.
From now on, you will be watched every moment by Dai Li agents. If you mention the war to anyone, you will be expelled from the city. I understand you've been looking for your bison. It would be quite a shame if you were not able to complete your quest.
Don't threaten Appa.
Judy will show you home.
Come with me, please.
What happened to Judy?
I'm Judy. I'll be your host as long as you're in our wonderful city.
Is this Westworld all of a sudden? Like, what the hell? No. Oh, God, of course, that's where it ends. Like, what the hell? What the hell? I feel bad for that girl now. That's... It's Clancy Brown.
Yep.
I knew his voice. I'm so mad. Like, I was listening so hard to try to figure out who that was.
Yep. He's great.
He is. All right, so I have a lot to say about this episode. What the fuck is kind of the main thing. Just what the fuck? Like, you can't just, like, they literally, like, do they brainwash? Like, do people in Ba Sing Se not realize that there is a war? Because it looked like they were brainwashing Jet at the end, right? With the light and everything.
They were brainwashing him, yeah.
And or hypnotizing, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm like, do these people just not even know that there's a war out there? Or do they just
Pow knew that there was a war.
Yeah, but do they just think that, yes, there is a war, but we're safe here so we don't have to worry about it? Or it seemed
He seemed more afraid of the consequences than the actual war.
Yeah. Definitely the guy at the shop with the cat owl seemed to know something that he wasn't saying because the lady was there. And then the neighbor as well, and like the other people they talked to got like, and the guy at the university.
That might have been Will Wheaton. I don't know.
Oh yeah. And the guy at the university with the glasses, like he seemed nervous, like he tripped and everything, he was sweating. And I don't know, like I just feel like like Avatar just got like really dark all of a sudden. And I was not expecting it to be like, it's like Westworld almost, the way they just like were like, oh, this one was bad, gone. This is the same person. It's fine. And it's like, it's not the same person. You're like, I'm like, wait, is this Westworld or Avatar? I'm confused.
Yep.
Like, what the hell? That was like that poor lady. Now I feel bad for her. Like, she literally like can't stop smiling and telling them what she's supposed to, because then she gets like, what happened to her? Like, we don't know. They just replaced her with some other smiling lady that's not her, and they gave her the same name?
Judy.
Clancy Brown. What was it? Long Fang?
Yeah.
Long Fang. Clancy Brown. I'm just going to call him Clancy Brown.
Long Fang.
Clancy Brown. But he let them in because he didn't trust them, and he wanted to keep an eye on them, right? Like, that's... Like, I don't think that he just... let them in.
Yeah.
And then...
We wanted to see what they would do.
Like, this city is so messed up. Like, they kind of portray Ba Sing Se outside of Ba Sing Se as, like, this sanctuary, this temple where you're safe and everything like that. And you kind of are, but it's, like, at what cost? You have to give up everything, really. And they decide where you live. There's obviously a huge wealth disparity there. There's...
Not only do they have walls to protect their land and then other walls to protect their city, but they have walls inside the city to maintain order.
Which is like, okay, we put the poor people in this section, and then they can't disturb the middle class people in this section, and then the rich people don't have to be disturbed with any of the peasants wandering around in the lower sections than them. It's very messed up. And even the king, who is a figurehead, I mean, to be fair, most kings are figureheads. I mean, I guess it depends on what time in history and everything like that. But...
And what culture.
Yeah. But it's just like, does that king even know what's going on? Like, what does the king even know if they're taking people away? Like, they're not letting people see him. They're not letting him get information. Like, this military guy, Long Fang, is choosing what the king knows, because he's talking to the Avatar and they're like, hey, we have something that could be huge. Like, you could send an army, you could stop the Fire Nation, then there's no war anywhere. And he's making the choice for the king and for everyone in Ba Sing Se that that's not something that they want to do. Which, you know, yes, as a king, you usually have counselors and people and like a head of military, you know, that make these sorts of decisions. But usually the king also knows about it. In this case, it kind of seems like the king has no idea what's going on and he's just existing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like, if we meet the king, we'll be interested in what he does and doesn't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they sort of navigate the city when all these, what are they called? D something? Dai
Li.
When all these like Dai Li are everywhere and their job is to stop people from talking about this stuff. Like, is the reason that they arrested Jet not because he accosted these other people and stuff, but because he was talking about the Fire Nation? Like, he was accusing them of being Fire Nation soldiers in Ba Sing Se. Like, that would be a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, probably because you had other soldiers there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Zuko took one of their twin swords and started fighting Jet. Like, they would have, you know, been responsible for dealing with him.
Yeah.
But the Dai Li came and took him away.
Well, what's interesting, too, is that, I mean, you almost feel bad for Jet in a way, even though, like, I don't want him to out Zuko and Iroh, and obviously I want him to just, like, get over it and go away and stuff. But he is right. They are Fire Nation people, and they are in Ba Sing Se. It's like he's actually right. And it's kind of fucked up that he's getting, like, arrested and brainwashed and all this stuff for something that he is correct about.
Wrong place, wrong time.
But it's interesting, too, to me that they didn't question how good Zuko was at sword fighting. You know? Like, maybe that's just not a big thing. But, like, he was trained by Iroh and by people who are very good, not only in firebending, but in sword fighting and stuff like that. So his level of sword fighting skill is much higher than the average person's would be. And so it's interesting to me that nobody was like, there might be some validity because, like, he's not firebending, but why the hell is he that good at fighting? You know?
Yeah.
If he's just somebody who serves tea in a tea shop. It kind of seems to, like, go against it a little bit, maybe. But, I mean, they're also soldiers, and they want their good-ass tea. They want a place to relax at the end of the day. It's easy to look aside from this when they don't want it to be true, and there's not really any evidence that it's true, because, like, okay, these people haven't fired. Like, you can't force them to firebend, really, unless you're, I don't know, doing, like, something so crazy that would require them to have to do that in order to. But just sword fighting, like, isn't going to make them have to firebend, so I don't know. I'm curious as to how, like, what Smellerby and what's his name? The guy who never says anything? Longshot? Yeah, I think so. I'm curious as to what they're going to do now, because they kind of just walked away when he got arrested. But I don't know if that's going to incentivize them to prove him right, or if it's going to incentivize them to be like, you know what? We have kind of a good thing going. We're in a safe place. We can find jobs. We can live a normal life. We can move on like we wanted. And they're just going to try to do that. I don't know. It's so funny to me, and I've said this a million times before, but I feel as though the writers and the creators took immense pleasure in creating these weird-ass mashups of animals, because they are, like, every time you think, okay, they've shown us all these strange animals, like, this is all the strange animals they're going to show us. They're like, no, but what about an owl and a cat? And you're like, okay, like, why not?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, that would be so fun. Like, if somebody's like, create all these weird mashups, and I'll be like, all right, here I go. I'm just going to create a shit ton.
You would just, like...
Or it would be everything in a cat.
Draw a bunch of, or write a bunch of animals in a circle, and then just draw a line to every other animal, and make it, like fish cat, fish dog, fish whale, fish deer, fish owl, like that.
Fish elephant.
Yeah.
Elephant fish.
I wonder just have all these combinations of animals and stuff like that.
I was going to say, I wonder if at any point they were like, this animal is too ridiculous. But it doesn't seem like it. Like, I feel like they're just like,
they made
is it weird?
All of the animals that they mentioned technically are canon.
All of the like,
all of the bear bears, combinations.
The bear. Yeah. Well, it's funny, too, because we've seen a cat, like just a regular cat, and then we've seen the cat owl. And so presumably all of the animal combinations stem from like a root animal, right? Because we've seen a bear, and we know that there's all these other kinds of bears. We've seen a cat. We know there's all these other kinds of, presumably all these other kinds of cats because of the cat owl. I wonder if there's just like a regular horse somewhere, you know, because they have all these. But they seemed surprised that there was a bear, like just a bear. So I wonder if in this, and I'm probably thinking way too hard about this because it's probably not that deep, but I wonder if in the Avatar world, like I don't know if the root animal is the right word, but like the original animal species, yeah. I wonder if it's mostly died out, you know, because, you know, there's a bear, then there's all these other kinds of bears. There's a cat, there's all these other kinds of cats.
I don't know.
But then there's like...
When they realized that the king had just a bear, they weren't like, whoa, those are so rare. I want to see one. They were like,
that
really?
doesn't exist.
That?
But there seemed
he has
like,
one of those?
But didn't it seem more like...
That's weird.
But didn't it seem more like... Not like, oh, that's weird and boring, but more like, oh, I didn't know that that was a thing. Because to me, it seemed more like it was like, oh, I didn't realize that just a bear existed. Not like, oh, that's boring, it's just a bear. You know?
I think it was boring because it was just a bear.
Okay, maybe. Like I said, that's just... I took it more as like they didn't know that a thing that was just a bear existed.
To me, it seemed like...
To me.
I'm just trying to make clear that this is not like an official opinion or anything.
This was just kind of...
But to my way of thinking, it was so ordinary and unremarkable that the king had one.
You're probably shaking the camera.
I don't think so. It was so like unremarkable that it was
boring.
It was strange that he would have one.
Okay. Maybe.
It's like, yeah, the king is having a parade to show off a dog. It's like, really?
Well, we know dogs are a thing in this world too.
Well, yeah, but
it's not
everyone
like,
has a dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, not everyone. We don't have dogs. Our next door neighbor has a dog. What? I know what you mean. I'm just...
Don and Elizabeth have a dog. Lessa has a dog. Next door neighbor has a dog. Eric has a dog.
Nat and Cody have a dog.
Nat and Cody have a dog. Do I need to continue?
Your parents have cats. Also, something that was funny in this episode, or interesting to me, was Toph being able to sort of be the teacher to... I mean, she is the teacher anyway, right? She's literally teaching him earthbending. But again, being the teacher for them in regards to sort of etiquette and what it means to exist in the upper echelons of society, which unfortunately for her, I feel she feels that she has learned all of that and understands how to deal with these kinds of people and what it means to just have to remember all these little manner things. I took manner classes in church growing up. We had to go to this like whole thing where you learn about which fork goes where and which spoon and what you can eat with and like when it's polite to do this and all that stuff. And I got like a little carousel unicorn for passing and all this. It was really stupid. And I don't remember most of it because I don't understand why we had to do that. I mean, I guess some people in my town and in my church were rich, so... But, like, not me. I was never going to hobnob with those people, so it was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I've never in my life been to a dinner where I had to learn what fork or spoon to use. It's been, like, there's just one. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
You failed, didn't you?
No, I didn't fail. I just told you I passed. I got the unicorn.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a consolation thing.
No.
You didn't say it was for completing.
Yeah, it was the completion. Like we had to go. We like went to.
I thought you just got it for like passing the potatoes.
There was no potatoes. This is a fancy dinner.
Ain't no fancy dinner if you ain't got no potatoes.
Excuse you, don't get it everywhere.
Huh. I was just trying to tickle your lip. I didn't even touch your bottom lip.
You did.
I didn't.
I felt it. You did.
I went like this.
Stop.
I'm not touching anywhere near your mouth.
You're still touching my face.
Sorry.
I know, you're distracting me. You're distracting me.
Hurry up.
I just love Iroh and his never-ending obsession with tea. It's I feel like in the show, it's a meme. Like, it's almost like it's a recurring kind of theme and kind of, I think, joke throughout the show that he's obsessed with tea, even though he really is obsessed with tea.
Yeah.
But it's just...
It's like, oh, this is disgusting. It tastes like dirty leaf water. It's like, Uncle, that's all tea is. How could you say something like that?
How could...
My own family.
Yeah. It's like, that is what tea is, though. Like, that's not an insult to tea. I love tea, but I don't know what it is.
It's leaves and water.
It's just so funny, though. I love that we're in, like, halfway through season 2, and this is still a thing. And it was a thing in the pilot of him just sitting there, like, drinking his tea, and it just... They, like, doubled down. He's like, I found us a job. And I was like, I wonder what his job... I didn't even think...
You shouldn't have.
I know. I was
You shouldn't have
stupid.
even wondered.
It was stupid, yeah. It's amazing. I want, like, there to be... Like, you know how they have... I mean, I'm sure that there is. But have you ever had the fandom kinds of teas, right? There's, like, a Doctor Who one that a TARDIS tea that I had before. There's probably, like, an Iroh tea. It was from Etsy. I think it was just, like, people made it. And it was just different kinds. But I bet that is a thing that at least one person has made. And I'm approving of this.
There is a lot of Etsy pages.
For Iroh tea?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of them?
There's quite a few. There's one that's called Iroh's Legacy.
Mm.
And white jasmine tea.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm. I think we're done.
It's just funny because everything's to be cut before that, so he's just fucking done. Alright, you guys. So that is all that we have to say. I'll see how I manage to edit that into one coherent post-episode.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, please like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already.
Helps the algorithm.
It does. And if you would like to see the next episode right now, you can over on Patreon, which is linked in the description below. I saw you in the viewfinder. And it is patreon.com/Carmen Young. All right, guys, you guys. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. If you don't get that reference.
They don't get it.
Anyway, bye. Babe, wave. What's on my hand? Oh, never mind. It just looked like
A
there was
booger.
something on my... No, there's not. That part was disgusting, though, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm scarred for life.